Kamala Harris Biography, Net Worth, Age, Education, Husband, Kids and Professional Life. Kamala Harris is a prominent American politician, attorney, and the 49th Vice President of the United States. She made history as the first female, first black, and first South Asian Vice President, symbolizing a breakthrough in representation for many communities. So, if that sounds interesting, let me know what you think in the comments below. Hit the subscribe button and let's dive in. Kamala Harris' personal life, relationships, and net worth. Kamala Devi Harris was born in Oakland, California, on October 20, 1964. Her mother, Shyamala Gopalan, was a biologist who arrived in the United States from India in 1958 to enroll in graduate school in endocrinology at the University of California, Berkeley. A research career of over 40 years followed, during which her work on the progesterone receptor gene led to advances in breast cancer research. Harris's father, Donald J. Harris, is an Afro-Jamaican who arrived in the United States in 1961, also enrolling in UC Berkeley and specializing in development economics. The first black scholar to be granted tenure at Stanford University's economics department, he now has emeritus status there. Kamala Harris's parents met in 1962 and married in 1963. The Harris family lived in Berkeley until they moved in 1966, around Kamala's second birthday. They lived for a few years in college towns in the Midwest where her parents held teaching or research positions: Urbana, Illinois, where her sister Maya was born in 1966, Evanston, Illinois, and Madison, Wisconsin. By 1970, the marriage had faltered, and Shyamala moved back to California with her two daughters. The couple divorced when Kamala was 7. In 1972, Donald Harris accepted a position at Stanford University. Kamala and Maya spent weekends at their father's house in Palo Alto and lived at their mother's house in Berkeley during the week. Shyamala was friends with African American intellectuals and activists in Oakland and Berkeley. In 1976, she accepted a research position at the McGill University School of Medicine, and moved with her daughters to Montreal, Quebec. Harris graduated from Westmount High School in Montreal in 1981. Harris attended Vanier College in Montreal in 1981–82, and then Howard University, a historically black university in Washington, D.C. At Howard, she became a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha, one of the Divine Nine historically black sororities. She graduated in 1986 with a degree in political science and economics. Harris then attended the University of California, Hastings College of the Law in San Francisco, where she served as president of its chapter of the Black Law Students Association. She graduated with a Juris Doctor in 1989. In the 1990s, Harris dated Willie Brown, Speaker of the California Assembly, 1980–1995, and then Mayor of San Francisco, 1996–2004. In 2001, she briefly dated talk show host Montel Williams. Harris met her husband, attorney Doug Emhoff, through a mutual friend who set them up on a blind date in 2013. Emhoff, who was born in a Jewish family, was an entertainment lawyer who became partner in charge at Venable LLP's Los Angeles office. Harris and Emhoff married on August 22, 2014, in Santa Barbara, California. Harris is stepmother to Emhoff's two children, Cole and Ella, from his previous marriage to the film producer Kirsten Emhoff. Kamala is known to prioritize her family, often spending time with them whenever her schedule allows. Kamala Harris and Doug Emhoff own several properties, including a luxurious home in Brentwood, Los Angeles, valued at millions. Additionally, they own a condominium in Washington, D.C. and a San Francisco apartment. Harris and Emhoff's car collection is relatively modest for high-profile figures, though they reportedly own luxury vehicles that align with Harris's taste for understated elegance. As of August 2024, Kamala Harris's net worth, combined with her husband Doug Emhoff's, is estimated to be around $8 million. Their wealth stems from her legal and political career, book deals, and Emhoff's career as an entertainment attorney. Kamala Harris' professional life. Kamala Devi Harris is an American politician and attorney who has been the 49th and current Vice President of the United States since 2021, serving under President Joe Biden. Harris is the Democratic Party's nominee for president in the 2024 election. She is the first female Vice President of the United States, making her the highest-ranking female official in U.S. history. She is also the first African American, and the first Asian American Vice President. From 2017 to 2021, she represented California in the United States Senate. Before that, she was the Attorney General of California. In 1990, Harris was hired as a deputy district attorney in Alameda County, California, where she was described as an able prosecutor on the way up. In 1994, Speaker of the California Assembly Willie Brown, who was then dating Harris, appointed her to the State Unemployment Insurance Appeals Board and later to the California Medical Assistance Commission. In February 1998, San Francisco District Attorney Terrence Hallinan recruited Harris as an assistant district attorney. There, she became the chief of the Career Criminal Division, supervising 5 other attorneys, where she prosecuted homicide, burglary, robbery, and sexual assault cases, particularly three-strikes cases. In August 2000, Harris took a job at San Francisco City Hall, working for City Attorney Louise Wren. Harris ran the Family and Children's Services Division, representing child abuse and neglect cases. Wren endorsed Harris during her DA campaign. Harris was elected Attorney General of California in 2010, becoming the first woman, African American, and South Asian American to hold the office in the state's history. She took office on January 3, 2011, and was re-elected in 2014. She served until resigning on January 3, 2017, to take her seat in the United States Senate. After more than 20 years as a U.S. Senator from California, Senator Barbara Boxer announced on January 13, 2015, that she would not run for re-election in 2016. Harris announced her candidacy for the Senate seat the next week. She was a top contender from the beginning of her campaign. On July 19, President Barack Obama and Vice President Joe Biden endorsed Harris. In the November 2016 election, Harris defeated Sanchez with over 60% of the vote, carrying all but 4 counties. After her victory, she promised to protect immigrants from the policies of President-elect Donald Trump and announced her intention to remain Attorney General through the end of 2016. Harris became the second black woman and first South Asian American senator in history. On January 21, 2019, Harris officially announced her candidacy for President of the United States in the 2020 presidential election. On December 3, 2019, Harris withdrew from the 2020 presidential election, citing a shortage of funds. In March 2020, she endorsed Joe Biden for president. On August 11, 2020, Biden announced he had chosen Harris as his running mate. She was the first African American, the first Indian American, and the third woman after Geraldine Ferraro and Sarah Palin to be the vice presidential nominee on a major party ticket. Harris is also the first resident of the western United States to appear on the Democratic Party's national ticket. Harris became the vice president-elect after Biden won the 2020 presidential election. Harris was sworn in as vice president on 11:40 a.m. on January 20, 2021, by Justice Sonia Sotomayor. She is the United States' first woman vice president, first African American vice president, and first Asian American vice president. Harris is the third person with acknowledged non-European ancestry to become president or vice president. Her first act as vice president was to swear in 3 new senators, Alex Padilla, her successor in the Senate, and Georgia Senators Raphael Warnock and Jon Ossoff. In April 2023, incumbent President Joe Biden announced his re-election campaign, with Harris as his running mate. After the Democratic primaries, the pair became the party's presumptive nominees in the 2024 presidential election. Concerns about Biden's age and health persisted throughout Biden's first term, with renewed scrutiny after his performance during the first presidential debate on June 27. On July 21, 2024, Biden suspended his re-election campaign and endorsed Harris for president. Harris was also endorsed by Jimmy Carter, Bill and Hillary Clinton, Barack and Michelle Obama, the Congressional Black Caucus, and many others. In the first 24 hours of her candidacy, her campaign raised $81 million in small dollar donations, the highest single-day total of any presidential candidate in history. If elected, Harris would be the first female and first Asian American president of the United States, and the second African American president, after Obama. By August 5, Harris had officially secured the nomination via a virtual roll call of delegates. The next day, she announced Minnesota Governor Tim Walz as her vice presidential running mate. On August 22, 2024, the 4th day of the Democratic National Convention, Harris officially accepted the Democratic nomination for president. Harris participated in a debate with Trump on September 10. It was widely reported that Harris won the debate. Harris's domestic platform supports national abortion protections, LGBTQ+ rights, stricter gun control, and limited legislation to address climate change. On immigration, she supports an earned pathway to citizenship and increases in border security, as well as addressing the root causes of illegal immigration by means of the RCS program. On foreign policy, Harris supports continued military aid to Ukraine and Israel in their respective wars, but insists that Israel should agree to a ceasefire and hostage deal and work toward a 2-state solution. She opposes an arms embargo on Israel. Harris has departed from Biden on economic issues, proposing what has been called a populist economic agenda. Kamala Harris remains a groundbreaking figure, continually pushing boundaries in her career and inspiring millions with her dedication to justice, equality, and public service. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Let me know what you think in the comments below.